What's going on, guys? My name is Andres Garcia, and lately a question has been on my mind. Ever since I can remember, I've been obsessed with self-productivity tips and really just helping make myself better and helping make others better by simply just putting in time, effort, and working discipline into my daily routine so that I could yield results that I want to see in my life. It's honestly like a drug-like experience when you're able to work hard for something and you consistently work hard for it and you actually achieve what you're trying to do. The sense of euphoria that comes along with it, and it makes this idea and concept of success so, well, addicting. And a question that has been lingering on my mind and is the point of this video, and that is, are productive people actually happy? The year is 2021, and with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all these different platforms consuming our minds on a daily basis, and it is all around us, and that is hustle culture. Hundreds, if not thousands, of influencers on social media are talking about grind. And I know you see these people, and some people, they actually have more to show for it than others, but others just are more preaching about it. But the point is, it's everywhere, of people like Gary Vee, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, this guy who's always in his garage, my personal favorite.
Stay hard! Stay hard! Stay fucking hard!
So many influencers and people who are speaking their truth about just their idea of working hard and getting things that they've worked hard for, and teaching others how to get those same things, which can lead to other people being, more productive, leading to happier lives. Now, you don't need to be the next Bill Gates to make a difference in your world. I truly do believe that everyone can make a difference in their own world by focusing on what they have and really just being intentful and mindful of their time, and also having passion in what they're doing. And if you have all those things, you're gonna spend a lot of time doing something that you love, and you're gonna get good at that one thing, or multiple things for that matter. And the world of productivity is so complex, yet so simple at the same time. And ever since we're young, we're taught that the most productive people are the happiest because they have the most money, they have the most opportunity, influence, respect. All these things sound like such a great idea, right? But what's the catch? Being so work-oriented leaves much less time to develop relationships with friends, family, adventures, and experience a young and healthy life. And all these things in of themselves are rich and deserve to be recognized and are a crucial part of life. Belonging to a tribe is something that undoubtedly everyone wants. And in the pursuit of trying to pursue something in your career and something that you have passion for, and that's something that you really want to do, it's going to require less time in these other areas of life. And with that comes a potential loss of connection with family and friends, and a potential source of regret. Now, the simple solution to this, right, is to have a work-life balance. But being balanced is actually a lot harder than we think. After all, if it really was so easy, we would see increased numbers of happy, healthy, and financially independent individuals and families. And this would be a rather common thing. But instead, we see increased rates of anxiety, depression, and suicide, which can all be self-induced based off our own expectations of ourselves, as I feel like most of us are probably hypercritical of our own selves. So it really does beg the question, is any of this even worth it? And what amounts of self-productivity becomes toxic? Okay, so what would drive a perfectly sane individual to wake up at the ass crack of dawn and go for a 10-mile run without anybody telling them to do so? Come back home, sit on the computer for 10 hours like a robot and just work. All of that just to wake up the next morning and do it all over again. Purpose and obsession. The highest achieving people in our society are the people who are most obsessed with their purpose, and that's what makes them successful, right? Now, does purpose and obsession have a direct correlation with someone's happiness? And on the flip side of that coin, what is the outcome of lack of purpose and obsession? To help me answer this question, I went over some Jordan Peterson quotes. Now, if you guys haven't heard of him, I'm sure most of you have, but if you haven't, please check out Jordan Peterson, and here's what he has to say about this issue.
If you look around the world, you might think, well, the happiest people are those where the standard of living is the highest. That's actually not the case.
Right.
And you think, okay, but why wouldn't that be the case? It's like, what do you want? Malaria and death at 40? Obviously not. But then you think, okay, what's the price you pay for a high standard of living? Well, that's easy. You virtually always sacrifice the present for the future. You're always working. I mean, you guys, you're fairly influential and you've got this good thing going, but like, it could crash at a moment's notice. You better keep your eye on it. And every day you're thinking, okay, this has to be done, and this has to be done, and this has to be done. And it pays off. I mean, you have a nice studio and I would presume a reasonably comfortable life, but it's not like you're not running on a treadmill to keep that going. And so that's security and it's health, but it isn't necessarily happiness, and it's certainly not necessarily freedom from anxiety. Sure. And I would say most people in the modern world, weirdly enough, have far too much to do. You know, 2 career families and a couple of kids. It's like, man, you're done. That's 60 hours a week of flat out work. Yeah. So, and that can be too much. And then I also think, because our society is philosophically unstable, and that's sort of reflected in this polarization, is that people are doubtful about whether their lives have any meaning, for example. You know, well, why bother? What's the use of it? Who cares? It's like, what difference is it going to make in a million years, you know? And life is hard, and if you just have a nihilistic viewpoint, then it's easy to be swamped by doubts and existential angst and all of that. And like, I think that's a mistake, because I think that your life can be very meaningful. It's proportionate to the responsibility that you take on. And you can learn that by watching when you're engaged in the world, you know, and what works to sort of protect you from feelings of isolation and doom. You know, and a lot of the lectures I have on YouTube are about exactly that.
Alright, so if we know that successful people aren't happy, nor are non-successful people happy, who the f is happy? Is anyone happy? And obviously the answer can't be no, and that's the point of this video. Us people are happy when we could go after our goals and accomplish them. It gives us purpose and work and something to look forward to. It is viewing life through a productive and genuine lens. For example, being a better friend requires more effort and a time put into that relationship. And I mean quality time, and it goes the same for growing a following here on YouTube or learning a new instrument or whatever. Productivity is subjective, and happiness is merely a product of that. I truly do think that just working hard in something is really what gives us drive and purpose and happiness at the end of the day. After all, one thing that may be considered the world of productivity to someone else can be considered unproductive completely to someone else. For one person, working out every single day is their #1 priority. You know, working out for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day is their priority, and they view that as productivity. But someone else who maybe just gets 30 minutes of exercise may not see that as productive time spent doing 4 hours of ab crunches, but maybe spending other time in their life doing other things that they view to be productive. So that's really what goes back to this idea of productivity is subjective, and when we work hard at the things that we feel are productive and we get good outcomes out of those things, that can then lead us to our own happiness. Whether that's making a better relationship with your parents, your friends, working hard on your side hustle, working hard in the gym. And one of the most important things is working hard on understanding yourself and being comfortable with yourself. After all, we know the most successful people in the world aren't the happiest. So like, why is it that we see so many celebrities and in our eyes we see that they may have it all, but in reality they may feel lonely and rather disconnected? I think so many times with this whole hustle culture, it's so focused on working hard in a career or financial aspect, which of course is important, but I feel like overall productivity should be the main message. It's really all about not being a bystander in life, being a spectator in life. The one who's always in the corner, didn't speak their mind, didn't pursue what they wanted to pursue, all because they wanted to please people and not do what they wanted to do. I'll save that conversation for another video, but thank you for watching mine today, and if you could please leave a like and a comment if you feel so compelled to do so, and please subscribe if you haven't already, if you would like to, and yeah. Oh yeah, and one other thing, please remember,
stay hard, stay hard, stay fucking hard!